Hi, and welcome back to Cinematech, your Southern California home integration specialist. Today we're going to be unboxing the brand new JVC X70RB, also known as the RS55. There's two different divisions within JVC. Each division has the same projector, they just have different model numbers, but essentially it's the X70/RS55. Without further ado, let's go ahead and open it up. Like all models, JVC does a great job with packaging. If you're not familiar with some of the JVC products, especially their projectors, they have what's called DLA technology, which has some of the best black levels in the industry. They're known for just having phenomenal natural contrast without having to use a dynamic iris like a lot of the DLP projectors and some of the LCD projectors out there. Anyway, it comes packed as any projector with an accessory box, manual, power plugs, remote control, all the essentials that you're going to need. Go ahead and set this off to the side for now. And with every projector, I want to go ahead and set this down and pull it out. Now, one of the nice things about this brand new projector that JVC has come up with is what's called E-Shift. Essentially, it's taking a 1920 by 1080 image and doubling it vertically and horizontally for a nice 4K resolution. And we'll go ahead and we'll be able to show that to you as soon as we get this up on the screen here shortly. Let's go ahead and open this up. It's wrapped really nice. We've got that comes in different colors. This one's specifically the black because we have a darker ceiling up in our showroom, so we want to be able to show it off a little bit. Now, this has got all the THX modes in this system. It's 3D ready. It's also got phenomenal 2D to 3D up conversion with this particular projector. As with all JVCs, you've got the lens up front centered. It actually has got a sealed optics. So when you turn the projector off, the lens cover shuts over it, so you don't have to worry about the lens getting dust and things on it when not in use. Let's go ahead and take a look at the connections on the back, shall we? All right, let's turn it around. Okay, as with all the projectors, HDMI is the most common. So you've got two HDMI ports, you've got a Cat 5. That's basically for all the software updates that come into the system. You've got your component cables, you've got your RS-232, and that's for all your remote controls, depending on how you want to do the remotes. They've got this piece right here, 3D Synchro. There's a special adapter that you attach to it, and that's for the 3D glasses, so they sync up for the 3D. You got a PC, you can hook up your computer, you got different triggers, and you can also have a remote control trigger as well as the power. Then you've got all the buttons on the back here, so it's kind of nice, so it's not hidden, so you don't see them on the top of the projector, so it'll all be up behind depending on how you have it situated in your theater. It works out real well. Let's go over here to the screen real quick, and we'll go over some of the specifications for this new particular projector. As we talked about before, this is the X70R, or known as the RS55, but it's the 1920 by 1080, 0.7 inch with 3 chips. You have one for the red, green, and blue. But the nice thing about this, again, like we talked about, is it's got the E-Shift, so it up converts. So you take your 1920 by 1080 chips, and they shift it a little bit, each pixel, horizontally and vertically. And by doing that, you get essentially a 3840 by 2160 resolution, which is something that nobody else in the industry has right now. Sony's going to be coming out with a true 4K projector, but I think it's going to retail for about $30,000, where this is only $8,000. So it's a great projector. You've got a 16-step iris on it. It comes with an automatic 80,000:1 contrast ratio. Like I said before, JVC's got some of the best contrast ratios in the industry, one of the best black levels in the industry. So there's not any other projectors out there that really beat it as far as black levels, or what they end up having to do is using an auto iris to compensate for the black levels. So it's kind of a faux way of doing it. It works very well, but this is actually a native contrast ratio. And depending on the screen size, you have a 16-step iris, so you can close down the iris. It enhances the contrast even more, but at the same time, you can also, if you have like a 92-inch screen, you don't want it so bright, you can compensate for the brightness right there. A couple other nice things about this projector is specifically it's got motorized zoom and focus on the projector, as opposed to some of the manual ones where you have to go up there and manually zoom and focus it, which can be kind of a pain, but this one's all done on the remote control, so you just point, click, and go. The other nice thing, and this is another key, is it's got 3 presets for focus, zoom, and lens shift. And what you're going to be using those for, anybody that has a 235 screen, the big wide screens. Instead, most people have to generally use an anamorphic lens, which can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000 depending on the lens type that they're using. But with this, with setting the presets for the zoom, focus, and lens shift, you can actually set on the projector, you can have it set at a preset for 185, 177, and 235, and the projector will automatically zoom in, adjust the lens shift, and focus for each of those settings, so you don't have to worry about buying an expensive anamorphic lens. And we'll go ahead and show you some of that when we go ahead and put it up in the theater room here shortly. Now, as you can see, we have the JVC up in the showroom right now, and you can see the lens is open. So you have the automatic lenses, so when it turns on, it opens. When it turns off, it closes automatically, so you don't get the dust on it. Let's go ahead and see what the image looks like on the 235 screen. As you can see, now we have the JVC piece going up on our 235 screen. We're using a Da-Lite Joe Kane 1.1 gain screen on this with the multi-masking. Let me step out of here. So right now I have it set in the 1:7:7 aspect ratio, but I want to go ahead and put it, because we talked a little bit about the lens memory shift and focus. We'll go ahead and set up the lens memory. We'll set it for 235, and here's how it works. Right now it's preset, so it's going back to its memory calculations. It's going to go ahead and load it right now. Takes a second here, but it's really nice. And because you have the E-shift, so you're getting basically a 4K image on your screen, even though it's zooming in to the picture, instead of using an anamorphic lens, you don't see the pixels. I mean, they are virtually non-existent, but you still have a really sharp, contrasty image. So it's not like it's going out of focus. It's incredibly sharp and contrasty. Let's put no, and here we go. Here's the image. So now you have a nice 235 image. Fills the screen. Let's go ahead and turn some lights off here. We can get a better image of it. Now, of course, this is overscaling the image, but because of the way they've set their zoom and focus, you just get black on the top and bottom, so you don't see it, even though you are overscaling the image on the screen. But if you were to step up to it like I'm doing right now, no pixel structure whatsoever, a nice clean image. I'll tell you what, JVC's done at this time with that 4K E-shift, it really looks phenomenal, as you can see here. And then all we got to do for the lens memory is we just go back. We hit 178, which would be your standard 16:9. It's going to go through its calculations. You can see the contrast right here. It's got excellent black levels. I know it's hard to tell in the video, but when you see it live in person, we have this in our showroom now, it just looks really phenomenal. So it's going to go ahead and zoom back in for your 235. It's got 80,001 contrast ratio like we discussed earlier. And like I said, everything, the presets for the focus, you can make minor adjustments if you need to at that point. Now this is set up in the 16:9, so this is the image where you'd normally have, black bars on the right and left. Since it's an anamorphic image, it's kind of crushed since it's HD. So if you had your regular 16:9 screen, it's going to come in on the right and left, and you have black bars on top and bottom. But since we have the 235 screen. Now, if you guys have any further questions regarding the JVC piece or screens or any of the products we have, you can give us a call at 1-888-944-4388. Again, that's 1-888-944-4388, or you can visit us on our website at socalhighdef.com. Thank you.